Commissioner Ellis, I'll be pleased to second that motion you just made. If we could bring up a PowerPoint that I've given, I want to go over a couple of facts, and I'm going to make this quick. This will be my first PowerPoint in the history of ever being elected. Don't think I'm going to get in the habit of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. It'll be quick and it'll be painless. But while they're finding that PowerPoint, a couple of points, and I'm looking at Director, Flood Control, County Engineer, as y'all work together and we're trying to solve the same issue. The specific focus, I think, in response to Commissioner Ellis's motion is to get the facts associated with the subdivision drainage program. In the bond issue, that was a $480 million bond issue. The notes that I've got on, then in 2023, the county engineer came to court and said, we need to eliminate $257,685,000 and change in projects. And that was what was done. 49% of those projects eliminated in 2023 were in Precinct 3. So that totaled $114,933,000. Then the county engineer came back a couple of weeks ago that precipitated this conversation and said we're still short $137 million. My best count, and we're not sure, but what started out to be a $480 million subdivision drainage program has now doubled. And I want to know where the money was spent. I want to know on what projects it was spent. All the other questions related to the prioritization and other directions given. But I think we need to share the pain in terms of the county. Certainly, 80% of all the water that comes into Harris County gets processed in Precinct 3 first, as in we flood in Precinct 3 before you go flood anyplace else. So those are facts, those are engineering facts, and certainly we want to be sure that we address our underserved neighborhoods, even those neighborhoods that the city of Houston has ignored for decades. It's important that we get this right, but I wanted y'all to understand this is not just the $114 million that Commissioner Ellis is dealing with in the elimination of projects in his precinct 2 weeks ago. I'm going to go back to the 257 that was eliminated because our commitment in the bond issue was we were going to do what we told you we were going to do. So that just simply means when you tell me I have $115 million in projects, I have to take that out of my mobility fund. And when I have to take that out of mobility, if it's a disproportionate amount that I have to take out of the mobility fund compared to the other precincts, that ends up being an extraordinary burden. So I'll go through this PowerPoint quickly, and hopefully it'll shed a little light. You can go to the next slide, whoever's operating this. That shows you the precincts. We all know what that is, and there is everybody understands where the precincts are. Go to the next one. Those are the mileage, and I make this point just because I think it's a good reminder every now and then. Precinct 1 has 2,103 miles that are in the unincorporated area of Harris County. That means Commissioner Ellis has a statutory responsibility for 2,103 miles. Precinct 2 has a statutory responsibility for 2,224 miles. Precinct 4 has a statutory responsibility for 3,278 miles. And then quickly to precinct 3. Next slide. I have 6,826. I need to remind you of that on occasion as we figure out the dollars. Judge Hidalgo, you've talked many times. Those people, you represent them like other people. So you can see the disproportionate amount of road mileage that's in precinct 3 based on the way it was drawn. 70% of the unincorporated area is in precinct 3. 49% of the roads is in precinct 3. And then go to the last slide, and I'm done. Those give you the numbers. And if you take the dollars from the mobility fund, the HECTRA Mobility Fund, over the last 4 years, it's been $749 million. You can see the distribution of those funds. Roughly it's 25%. I'm still a little under, but it's roughly 25% distribution. The mod, I'm down 30 million there. I'm at 19%. And when you take into account, because we don't know what the answer is going to be on the most recent summary, because that's what you're going to come back with, the county engineer is going to come back with. But what happened in 2023, those are the numbers on the reductions in each precinct. And you can see, based on net funding, and I am being too much of an engineer, but I think it's important that you look at the numbers. The other 3 precincts, precinct 1, precinct 2, and precinct 4, it's pretty even distribution, and I'm at 17%. Now, maybe this will change when the county engineer does his study. Maybe this will change when we look for other dollars and funding. But right now, that's simply an indication that the largest unincorporated area where we have a statutory responsibility to take care of these roads, we're at a distinct disadvantage of doing that. So as you look at it, county engineers, you go through, and Tina, as you go through and look at the summary, and then you get the records that Commissioner Ellis referred to, please, we need a complete picture. I can't get a complete picture. I can't get a complete answer to the question of where have we spent the neighborhood drainage dollars and what are the details associated with that. All I know is what we're told we're not going to spend, and I think it's time we get a handle on where we are. And I think everything's open. We got a $2.5 billion bond issue. And we ought to look at every pot that we can. I know that y'all have begun to do that, but come back in a way that we can live up to the commitment that we made to the voters in 2018 to do what we said we were going to do, because right now we're struggling in making that happen.
Commissioner Garcia.
Thank you. Commissioner Ramsey, I appreciate your presentation, and I do agree that we have to give this some thought because in good conscience, you do have more road miles than any of us. But I also, and I appreciate you waiting for the county engineer to finish his road condition assessment because I may not have as many miles as you do, but I got probably 3 times the freight traffic that you do. And so I just want to make sure that we're looking at it very, very accurately. And Commissioner Ellis, to your motion, I just want to ask Dr. Peterson, is 45 days enough for you to make sure you get this all accurate and give the commissioner a good perspective?
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, commissioners and judge. So Commissioner Ramsey, you mentioned we're currently working right now on an exercise. You know, while the subdivision drainage program is not part of the bond program, we understand, we're very clear, the Commissioners Court wants us to be part of the solution. And so we are working deeply on that effort right now. So in order to give Commissioner Ellis, you the data that you're looking for at the level of detail that I'm understanding that you're asking for, Commissioner Garcia, I do think we will need more time. I would say let us get to the end of March and get that analysis complete. And then if we could have another 60, 75 days to really dig in, right? To your point, Commissioner Ramsey, we want to come back with actionable data for you, data that you can understand. You know, we have made a lot of progress in the bond program. We have hundreds of projects underway, and we want to synthesize that information for you in a way that you can see what has been done and where the dollars have been spent. So if we could have a little additional time, Commissioner Ellis, that would really help us meet the call.
So here's my thought. I know when we met last and we talked about transparency, and you said you were going to have,
Commissioner, I just want you to know it's Commissioner Garcia and then Commissioner Briones. So
So I'll defer some time to Commissioner.
so, you know, I want to be fair, and obviously, if that's what it takes to get it done, I'll wait for it. But what I don't want to do is wait until all the money's gone.
Oh, no.
Because as I said to you, I think I've been one of the 5 easy ones to work with, shall we say, up here. But after that happened to me, I really lost my confidence in a lot of what's been happening at the county, just being honest with you. I'm just not being as trusting. And so